with Regis Prograis, but just looking at his last performance against Joseph Diaz. And Joseph Diaz is a good fighter, but he's not that big of a guy for 140. His main prime weight classes were 130 and 135. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are predicting the upcoming fight this weekend. Conor Benn versus Regis Prograis for the co-main event of Fury versus Arslanbek. This fight is very interesting, and I am curious to see how this goes. But one thing I am surprised about is that Conor Benn is fighting Regis Prograis at catch weight for $15 million. That's a lot of money. I made a video about Conor Benn signing a one-fight deal with Zuffa Boxing. I did not think it was going to be Regis Prograis. That was probably the least person I expected it to be. I expected him to go ahead and probably fight maybe Julian Rodriguez for maybe one of the Zuffa belts, or maybe he was somebody else. But hey, it's still an interesting match. So we're going to look at their last few fights. Starting off with Conor Benn, his last fight against Chris Eubank Jr., the second one. Chris Eubank Jr. did come in that fight weight drained. But I feel like if Chris Eubank Jr. was not weight drained, I feel like he would have lost that fight anyways. Just because Conor Benn had a way better game plan than what he did in their first fight. Their first fight, I feel like Conor Benn kind of played it a little dirty. He did head clash a little bit. I feel like he was headbutting a lot. He was putting his head forward in that first fight. It was still a fantastic fight, but like I said, just putting his head forward. I feel like he was purposely trying to headbutt Chris Eubank Jr. in that entire fight, which I feel like that's what made him lose that first fight. And then that second fight, he just had a whole better game plan. He wasn't playing it dirty. He was trying to win fair and square. His jab was better. His footwork was better. And he just looked better overall. But one thing I am curious is that, because mind you, this is not catch weight. This is not 147. So which means that he couldn't make 147. And that's why they did a catch weight fight. So I'm trying to see I'm curious to see if he can make the catch weight cut without being weight drained. Because if he comes to this fight weight drained, it's going to lose. That's why we got to see tomorrow on how he looks at the weigh-ins. And we also had to see how Regis Prograis looks at the weigh-ins. Because, guys, I am going to be rocking. I want to rock with Regis Prograis. But just looking at his last performance against Joseph Diaz. And Joseph Diaz is a good fighter, but he's not that big of a guy for 140. His main prime weight classes were 130 and 135. 140 and 147 were over the weight limit for him. And the fact is that he nearly lost that fight, and now is taking a fight with Conor Benn, who's young and in his prime. Yeah, I mean, I'm not fighting the best of the best so far, but he still can. Obviously, I don't see him becoming a world champion or not a world champion. Maybe he can, but I just don't see Regis Prograis winning, especially at the fact that I've heard rumors about him being injured. But even though I kind of don't believe that, but I will believe it when I see it. Like the day of the fight, if he looks kind of off, like if he's injured, I'll just believe it when I see it. Because who knows, he can still possibly win with him being injured. Because sometimes you can win a fight being injured. It's happened before. And it even proves a lot of people like, I can still fight while I'm injured. But also, I don't know if this is going to affect Conor Benn or not, but I believe the weight cut will be too much for him. He's got to hire a good nutritionist, because Emmanuel Navarrete, for an example, let's do him. He said he felt like he was weight drained and he couldn't make 130. But then when he had a fight against Eduardo Nunez, he hired a good nutritionist. And if you guys remember to watch that fight, he won the fight and had a stoppage in the 11th round. It was dominating Eduardo Nunez basically the entire fight. So if Conor Benn can get a great nutritionist and it can help him make the weight, then I believe that he'll have a better chance on beating Regis Prograis. Regis Prograis is not in the best as what he used to be when he was when he was in his prime, mind you guys, when he was in his prime, he was close on making the pound for pound list. But when he lost to Josh Taylor, that's when he lost it being in the pound for pound. And mind you, I don't know if you guys remember, but Josh Taylor ended up being in the pound for pound after beating Regis Prograis. And I feel like Regis Prograis lost his prime when he fought Devin Haney. That was probably one of the best. That was probably the best Devin Haney we ever seen. Probably maybe him versus Brian Norman Jr. as well. But yeah, he wasn't looking sharp anymore. And like I said, he nearly almost lost to Joseph Diaz, and I kind of thought he did lose that fight by a little bit. And like I said, it's wild because Joseph Diaz not big enough for 140 at all. You know, sometimes you're not big enough for 140, but like this dude's small. Like he's not that huge for 140. Like I said, 130 and 135 were his best days. So the fact is that he almost lost to a dude like Joseph Diaz at 140. Kind of makes no sense. It's like that shows that you're not in your prime no more. So I am going for Conor Benn here. But like I said, I don't know how the weight cut's going to be. We got to see the weigh-ins tomorrow morning. And let's see how Conor Benn looks. And let's see how Regis Prograis looks. Cause I think the going up in weight will help Regis Prograis to win the fight with Conor Benn. But yeah, my prediction here is Conor Benn. I think it's going to be a competitive fight. Who knows? This is going to be one of the best fights of the year for all we know, guys. But that will be the end of the video. Make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe button. Comment down below who you guys got winning Conor Benn or Regis Prograis. And I'll see you on the next one. But I'm out. Peace.